So, Emily.
Yay.
I asked people on my YouTube community tab to give me what they think will happen in Fallout Season 2. I did allow shit posts, so some of these are a little bit cracked, I'm going to be honest, but even the weird ones, I'm sure we can, talk about something interesting to do with them.
Teddy.
What do you think is going to happen in Fallout Season 2? What do we got?
Mr. Bean will appear.
He'll be the main character. Lucy will pull her face off and reveal she is Mr. Bean. All this time.
Okie dokie.
Okay, dokie, daddy. Right, okay, so... Here we go. Here's our questions. What does the first lovely person say?
Snake Zays says, the camera pans into the ghoul while they're passing the Hoover Dam, and he says, looks like some kind of battle took place at the Hoover Dam.
I like this one because it makes me think, how blatant do you think they're going to be to their New Vegas callbacks?
Although I would like to know, what part of him is the camera panning into? Is it like his butthole? Is it his nose? Is it the mouth? Like, give me some context.
It's like a real big close of his mouth. You know, like that one SpongeBob episode where he goes, actors. You're going to see that. You're going to see his toothless mouth opens up.
The
and he goes,
Hoover Dam.
But how blatant do you think they're going to be with their New Vegas callbacks in Season 2? I have two predictions. Either it's going to be like the first season, where it's very subtle, or they're going to go all-out fan service.
I think judging by the fan base's reaction, I think they'll have to go big or go home with it.
Yeah, because I think Todd's aware that he's milked all the good faith he can out of all the other games. I think he's like, come on, we've got to suck on New Vegas's teeth. We've got to get all these references out there. Because the thing with the first season is that they're Fallout 1 and 2 don't have that many monuments that you can subtly sort of squeeze in there, because the map of Fallout 1 and 2 is really fucking big. So if you want to have, because I think they literally just spend it around the south of the map in the Boneyard, I think, or they somehow get up to Shady Sands, Fallout geography isn't really their strong suit, seemingly. But they don't try to shove, besides Shady Sands, that many locations in there, or besides allegedly the Pridwin. So I'm thinking that maybe they will be a little more ham on the references, just because they've got, like, obviously New Vegas is more sort of packed in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you can go to Primm, you can go here, Presumably if they're coming from the west, they will go through a lot of the locations from the first game. But yeah, I think they could either be really, really like obnoxious with it and be like, here's all the Fallout New Vegas locations. Or maybe they'll be more held back, which they might do. I don't know. It's hard to tell. All right, how are we rating these? We're doing more Todds. How many Todds does this one get? What do you think? So, okay, I'm going to actually establish what the Todds mean. 1 Todd means not going to happen, never going to happen. 5 Todds means it's basically confirmed. So how many Todds do you think they're going to reference Hoover Dam? Is Ghoul going to go, I think I've been here before?
I mean, I guess it depends when he was there before the nukes dropped, wouldn't he? So he would have lived throughout whatever happened there.
Yeah, he'd probably know what Hoover Dam is. He's like, I had a globe.
I'd give it a 4.
A 4, so pretty likely you think he's going to stare at Hoover Dam and go, happened there. You think that, there you get 4 Todd Howards, there you go. We're doing great. Wow, off to a great start already.
Ottification says Thaddeus Super Mutant.
I like Ottification. That's a good name. I mean, that's an interesting one. I like this. Maybe he will turn into a super mutant instead of a ghoul, because when he gets that little spike through his neck, and Maximus just goes, Thaddeus, you're a ghoul. It's like, how do you know that? That's really weird that you just know that. You know what I mean? You can just diagnose someone. He's like one of those people on Twitter that self-diagnose themselves because they read one article once.
It would be kind of funny to see little baby Thaddeus become big super mutant baby boy.
He becomes shredded. I was really shocked by how withheld they were with super mutants in the first season. I'm wondering, do you think they're going to try get them in Season 2? They probably would, but...
I mean, if they're doing a season... Because at the end of Season 1, they teased the Death Claws. So I would think if they're not in Season 2, they'll be the teaser at the end.
I wonder how high budget that Death Claw is going to be. Do you reckon it's just some guy in a suit? Could you imagine?
Really?
There is a Death Claw called RAWR, R-A-W-R, so... I don't know, I'd like to see them, because it was actually kind of strange. I guess it makes sense that there aren't many in California for law reasons. But, I don't know, yeah, maybe that will be the twist. Maybe he'll be a super mutant. But then again, super mutants aren't known for their healing abilities. So I don't know about this one. I think I'm going to lean on 2 Todds for this.
I'll give it a 1.
You give it a 1, okay. Because
Yeah.
although it's an interesting idea, I don't think it's likely. It would be a fun twist that he turns into a mutant instead. But, he's got to be coming back at some point. We need more Thaddeus. Little whiny bastard.
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus the boyus. Oh, fuck's sake. What's the next one?
Your desk has come on it.
My desk does have... You leave the cum alone. I'm saving that for later.
Genuine Guitar says, I bet $100 Yes Man will be there and will help Lucy, but will betray her when he gets an update to be more assertive.
I don't know. Do you think they're going to touch on Yes Man? I don't know if they will.
I think he'll be there.
Yeah.
I think he'll be in...
Hi there. I'm just here.
I think he'll be in Benny's back room.
Still.
Handcuffed to a wall and just off.
Oh, kinky.
Or at least, like, have some sort of an error reboot shit on.
I'm Benny's sex bot.
Like, he'll definitely be there. I don't think they'll have him actually function.
Yeah,
if they're going to go with the Mr. House ending.
I think it would be a bit of a stretch to try to include Yes Man, because I think you'd have to go, because I think everyone's in agreement that we think the Mr. House ending is going to be the canon one.
Yeah.
It would be a little weird if you picked any of the others. I suppose NCR isn't entirely out of the question. However, I think considering they cast Mr. House in season 1, and they implied Big Mountain's going to be something to do with all this. And a lot of that stuff, you got the retcon people, they were basically like, hey, you guys remember New Vegas at the end of season 1? So I think it would be really strange if they didn't have him back. Because I thought they nailed him. That guy, he doesn't sound like Mr. House, but that really autistic speech he does, basically bitching out Cooper's wife, is very Mr. House. He's just a complete dickhead the whole time. And that's incredibly in character. So, I forgot the question. What was the question again? Yes Man. Yes,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I think we'll see him in the background somewhere. Because the interesting thing is, they say there are cryo suites underneath the tops, and Benny does have a lift that goes down there behind Yes Man's room.
So they'd have to walk at least through it.
You'd think they would walk through the room, and if he was there just off, I don't think he's just there just on a computer in the background, like, leave me alone. He goes back to typing.
No.
But he only gets his little upgrade where he can be more assertive if he wins. So, I don't know. How likely do you think it is they'll do the Yes Man ending? Because I don't know if that would be a good idea. Because surely, Hank McClane, he's going over there to, talk to Mr. House, presumably.
Yeah, or at least warn them.
So imagine if he got there to Mr. House's place. And Mr. House, he's just, he died. I'm his replacement. I'm Yes Man. How are we doing? That's the only way I can think. But I don't know if they do that, because again, they've cast Mr. House. So if you got him there, you might as well use him.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. I'll give we can have 3 Todds for that. I think he'll be in there. I don't think he'll be in the way you presented him, because I think that would I think there'd be no reason to have Yes Man over Mr. House.
It'd basically be copying an ending of New Vegas. I think they'd want to go for something new.
Yeah. Nice, thank you.
Key Cockface.
That's quite a name.
Says, it turns out that the Golden City of New Vegas was the friends we made along the way.
Hell yeah.
Fallout underwriters beyond Obsidian and Interplay will continue a strange aversion to the concept of tribals, probably out of some fears it invokes harmful native stereotypes. Something which, as a native, is actually one of my favourite aspects, and something I wish more apocalyptic media continued to do, as a rebuilding society is hard work.
This is a fair point. I remember when I saw this one, I thought this was a really interesting observation, because Bethesda don't like doing their tribal stuff. You know the stuff from Honest Hearts where you meet Follow Chalk and you've got all the little tribal guys? They are basically non-existent in any Bethesda sort of canon.
Wow, racist.
There's only really one group of them in Fallout 3 in, I think it's Point Lookout, but they're very... You can tell they're more based on sort of like Flintstone-y cavemen people and rags rather than the sort of the Native American Maori type stuff they're very clearly based on. I could see it, because it's one of those situations where I think they're kind of buggered both ways if they touch upon tribals. Because I think tribals are cool. I think they're interesting. I think it's really easy to sort of offend someone, so I think they're probably going to stay away from the tribal aspect. Even though it's really, really cool and really interesting to see these sort of broken down tribal communities, because that is an aspect I miss out of the Bethesda Fallout. It was fun to see them in 2 in New Vegas, but I honestly can't see them really coming back all that much as I love them. But yeah, this gets 5 Todds, because I could agree with this. I don't think they're going to touch on tribals. I think tribals are going to be shoved firmly out of the way from this point onwards. Yeah, it's cool. As much as we like them, I don't think they're going to come back. Throny boy!
Says there will be one guy wearing a Benny suit, drinking a beer or whiskey, saying, I miss you, boss. Got a lot of likes on that, too.
He just hasn't gotten over it. He's like, back, boss. Because funny thing, in the timeline, Benny's been dead for like, what, 15 years? No, 25 years, I think. So he's still remembering. You imagine Benny just becomes deified. It's like, oh, the Lord Benny, he was killed by that dastardly courier. You know what I mean?
Courier.
I don't know. I think they might have a guy wearing his suit in the background, because I think it'd be a shame to not reference that lovely, immaculate suit. But I don't think he's going to be brought up, unless they have, like, Benny Jr. there or something. Could you imagine? That'd be a great one. How many Todds? I think, Thorn, you're going to get 3 Todds for that, because I think he's likely to be referenced. It would be weird if he wasn't referenced in some way.
I definitely think his skeleton wearing the suit somewhere in the background.
He's tied up next to Yes Man.
Or if, yeah, it's just them two kissing. You know when people die in bed together, cuddling?
They're cuddling each other. Yes Man and Benny died in each other's arms.
Benny's a skeleton and Yes Man just says, update required.
it says, please stand by on his screen. I would love that. It'd be fantastic. Could you imagine? Oh, for fuck's sake. What's the next one we got? Low on power. What the fuck?
JoeKen says they will clarify what year the nuke dropped on Shady Sands since they screwed up so bad having nuked it pre-New Vegas.
No, please. I hated this debate because no one could just come to a reasonable. Everyone was either, fuck you Bethesda, you ruined everything, or Bethesda did nothing wrong, you never went to school, you don't know how a timeline works even though it looks a little bit confusing. Because I think we can both admit, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
You know, they could have made it more clear what went on without just going like, oh, because again, I don't like this excuse of, oh, the fall doesn't mean it fell immediately. And it's like, it kind of implies something definitive happened. You know, I think you would say more like this is where the shit, you know, began, not just, oh, it fell here and then it got nuked here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you could have definitely made it more clear. Because everyone compares it to the Roman Empire. They say, oh, the Roman Empire fell. But that's a little bit different because during the time the Roman Empire fell, it was basically 2 empires at the time. So even though the west part of the empire fell, the east part was still going fine. But, when you say the fall, you were talking about, I think, was it the Visigoths or the Goths sacking Rome at the time. So it kind of implies something big went down there. I think you'd want to say the start of, like, the Great Depression or a depression or an economic depression rather than the fall. I just think it was a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
But I think the show in general kind of handled that in a very strange way because there was basically no NCR presence at all besides at the observatory, but they look like just sort of generic raiders basically, don't they? Just a bunch of people in like ramshackle armor. But it's a big problem, I think, with Bethesda's depiction of the Fallout universe, where they always want to pull everything back to sort of like ramshackle towns. Which is one of the things I actually don't like that Bethesda do with the franchise. Bethesda, believe it or not, I think they do a lot of good for the franchise. However, I do think that some of their ideas, like how, oh, everything's got to be back in shanty towns, we can't have any developed cities, you know what I mean? I haven't gotten too far into Fallout London yet. I'm still, watching stuff about it. But, like, it looks like there are areas that are a lot more built up in Fallout London, and I like this idea of here's our more sort of like put together areas, and here's sort of the slums. Bethesda only want things to sort of be the slums. And I think that's not the problem. They didn't put any of the more put together NCR stuff, which probably would have made it more clear that... Because they keep going, oh, the NCR's still about. It's like, really? Where are they? You know what I mean? Like, you could have made it a lot more clear. But anyway, I'm rambling. I have 5 Todd Howards. They will definitely clarify this, and hopefully it will make more sense once they do.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
Right, what's the next one?
Italian 1776 says they will not confirm any New Vegas ending and say some bullshit like, oh, it does matter because war never changes, and everyone will clap because they said the thing.
I will be so mad if that happens.
They have to confirm an ending.
I would be so angry if they didn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Ooh, it's too hard to tell who won. Fuck off. I hate this. I hate how it's like, oh, we're not going to tell you, so it doesn't invalidate your playthrough. I just think that's complete horseshit. I think that's really lazy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, to me, my favorite part of the Fallout mythos is when, like, Fallout 1, 2, and New Vegas, you can make all the choices you want, but there is a canon, because I think it's important to pick a canon ending, because you want to pick the ending that will have the best future story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in Fallout 2, you can completely, like, ruin the NCR and basically break it in half. if you want to, you can just go murder everyone in the NCR. It's like, well, the NCR was a ghost town after some tribal walked in, murdered everyone, and just kind of left. You know, and it's like, I don't think it invalidates your playthrough to say, yeah, the canonical Chosen One, he wasn't a psychopathic murderer. You know what I mean? We want to do something that actually increases the story, not just causes things to get caught on fire. But no, I will be so mad if this happens. I'm going to say 3 Todds, because I think this might be likely.
Yeah.
I think that they're worryingly close to me to doing this, and I really, really hope they don't, because I will be actually upset.
Thonga says, Sonic the Hedgehog shows up and says, "Oh boy, I sure do love chili dogs," right before he's shot in the back of the head.
I think this is going to happen. 5 Todds immediately.
Yeah, I think one of the bullets will bounce off of his quill.
He'll use his epic... No, see, Sonic would be really good in the Fallout universe. He could use his epic Quicksilver powers to just run around all the bullets.
Electric Sonic Hedgehog power!
Oh no, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get a Chris Chan reference in season 2. Oh god, could you imagine? I would say I'm surprised, but I think after the barbening, I don't think regular media is going to reference Chris Chan. You know, I reckon he was so close to getting a cameo in one of the movies, but not after what he did. Anyway.
Oh, this one has a read more. Ooh.
Oh no, big boy. Law.
User DX1 blah blah says, "If House is alive, Lucy's dad is probably going to form an alliance with him for his own safety. I'm sure House would be mighty interested in a power source he can secure with the borders of New Vegas. Also, the Legion... Well, should we go with the first one first?
Are there 2 of these? Is that what
it
this
looks
is?
like it.
Okay, right. So first one, Hank teaming up with Mr. House. Is this likely?
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 because I think, you know, I don't think he's actually going to go make an alliance with Mr. House, because in that meeting when Mr. House is there, I think Hank is just a lower level employee. He's not exactly a higher up, is he?
Yeah.
Because they're all in the boardroom meeting with Cooper's wife. I think her name's Barb, ironically enough. You know, Hank doesn't get a say in, so I can't imagine that Mr. House would be like, oh, what, some lower level employee from Vault, like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Because when you play New Vegas, Mr. House, he's very no bullshit. I know you are always tempted to the yes man path. So you tend to... I don't think you've done the Mr. House playthrough.
I started it, but I went into his bedroom and pissed him off, and they all killed me last time, so...
If you guys look at the footage of one of the last videos, she was like, Liam, I'm trying to open every terminal. Why are the robots mad?
Oh no, you cut it off right at the end. So they
Oh,
can't
did
see
I?
it,
They didn't
yeah.
see you, like, just awkward. Well, I murdered Mr. House by accident.
No, I didn't. I opened his bedroom door and all of his slaves got angry at me.
Yeah, the robot sex slaves are just
Which
like,
I
oh, no.
swear I've done in the past.
Get out of daddy through him. But yeah, he's very uncompromising. So I can't see some random Vault Tech employee turns up at his front door and he'd just be like, oh cool, let's be Bezzy mates. He'd be like, what exactly do I gain from this? You know what I mean? You're like, hey, Mr. House, the NCR have this thing, it's really cool. It's like, how do you expect me to go great? Because I think what he's doing is I think he's running over to the cryopods under the tops or in Vault 21. Because Benny's little chute, it leads under the tops to Vault 21. Mm-hmm. So, but Mr. House fills the lower levels of Vault 21 in New Vegas with concrete. He says in lore that it's to protect the inner workings of the vault, because I think he needs data from it or something. He needs something from the underside of the vault, because when you explore the vault, you see corridors are covered up with like bricks of concrete. But what I think is actually happening is in the lower levels of the vault, that's where the cryopods are, and that's where Cooper's family is.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
That's my theory. I think, you know, Barb's there, I think his daughter's there, maybe some other people Hank can use to help him. So I don't think he's going to Mr. House. I think he's going to Vault 21.
Basically all the people in the boardroom from season 1.
No, because Mr. House, he's in his little cryopod. We know Sinclair is dead because you can find his skeleton in Dead Money. Not sure about the other 2. I can't think off the top of my head if they're actually in the game, you know? I'm autistic, but I'm not that autistic. But yeah, I think he's going to Vault 21, not necessarily Mr. House.
Yeah.
And that's my... But anyway, what's the second? I've got to rate the first one, don't I? So that's... I'm going to give it another 3 Todds, because I think... No, you're going to get a 1 Todd. I don't think that's likely. He's on his way to New Vegas, we know, but I don't think he's going to be best mates with Mr. House. They're not going to kiss. The Rubber Boys' penises are not going to kiss. No. What's the second question there?
The second one says, also, the Legion has collapsed due to Caesar's death. I feel there's something to be said about how both the NCR and Legion vying for control of New Vegas, and now the two are nothing more than a distant memory.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. It's one of these things. I think the Legion will make an appearance. I don't think they're going to be massively important.
They'll just follow Hank.
Yeah, they'll be Hank's
as
mates.
he walks into New Vegas.
They'll be like, oh, like that guy, he's got cool armor. Hey, want to be the new Caesar? They'll be like, no, fucking losers. And they'll just sort of like give up on him. I mean, you could do a whole story about the Legion breaking apart because it'd be an interesting faction in themselves. But yeah, I mean, that gets 5 Tods. I think the Legion are going to get some sort of representation there because it is an interesting idea that they're both sort of turned to cinders 25 years after New Vegas. So, you know, something they can do, something they can do.
I need to click read more again.
Oh, big brick paragraphs here.
The False Esquire says, so one of my friends predicts the Legion is in the Brotherhood of Steel due to the Roman-like naming for some of the people. Maximus, Thaddeus, Quintus, for example. My prediction is that New Vegas is in that state due to a power struggle. Could be that the Courier is in control through a yes-man ending, or that people don't like Mr. House's ideas and saw fit to uprise at the cost of their lives. But hey, it's only an ending shot, so we get to see New Vegas, so take that with a grain of salt.
So 2 ideas in here. I don't like the idea that, because they've got Latin names, that means they're Legion.
Yeah.
Because Arcade says himself, Caesar isn't the only one that knows how to speak Latin around here, I think it's just the thing, when you look back into history, you realize everyone just rips off the Romans. Everyone was like, that Caesar guy, he's pretty cool. And that's like, everyone just pinches their shit.
Yeah.
Because like most Western languages are based on Latin, so they're all just copying the same thing. They're all copying each other's homework, we're just changing it slightly. That's what I think the meme is with those guys. Power struggle in New Vegas? I mean, it would be an interesting idea. That might need to be its own story though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like we said, we think House is going to be the canon ending. Benny and Yes Man are going to be in their room together smooching, so they're not going to be really relevant to it. So that's what we think. You can get 3 Tods. No, actually, no, you can get 1 Tod. Sorry, I'm subtracting your Tods.
That was rude.
Yeah, I'm eating their Tods because I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't think there's going to be Legion spies because I don't think the Legion are a thing anymore. Like the last person said, I think the Legion's fucked.
Yeah.
I think they're all done.
Too.
They're done so.
Korea Ghost Gamer says, I honestly think we might see Joshua Graham if the show were to show exactly what happened to New Vegas. It could be unlikely, but that's just my theory.
I think in a flashback, I think he'd be like 60-something? I think he'd be basically on death's door.
Yeah.
You imagine he turns up, hello, I'm the burnt man. You know what I mean? I can't imagine that old crackly motherfucker just walking up and be like, hello. It would need to be, here's young Joshua Graham. Because I don't know about you, I think they might do a flashback scene about the Battle of Hoover Dam.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think they could do that because I think, when the normies come in, they need to explain what this Battle of Hoover Dam was.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be really confused if you just turn up and, there was a battle, lol. So, okay, what was it about?
I think at the very least, if they don't show Joshua Graham, I think they'll at least talk about him.
They'll get a name drop.
Yeah.
They'll be like the beautiful bandage man.
Because I could see them doing a thing where if the normies don't get it, it doesn't matter. If the nerds get it, they'll have boners and they'll come on the screen.
I already have a boner and I'm coming on the screen as we speak.
Oh my god, stop. Stop. It's every...
Okay, you made it weird. Tasty.
I was meant to be drowning, but okay.
I don't know if you know, but speaking of glazing, like we just did, the fan base really loves Joshua Graham. He's a really popular character.
Am I pronouncing his name wrong?
Graham. How did you say it?
Graham.
I think it's Graham. I think people in game call him Graham. Joshua Graham. Oh no, that's with like a Texan accent, so you go Graham. Like that.
Do it for the Graham.
Shut up. But I think they could. I think maybe that'd be a little too obvious of like fan service.
Yeah, I'd give it a 2 and say they'll definitely they'll say his name.
He'll get a little name drop.
Yeah.
But because I'm thinking I got a little tangent. I think we've got basically 2 routes season 2 can take.
Yeah.
We can either continue the way the first season did, where realistically it was quite restrained with what it actually showed. There was a lot of references in there, but it didn't it wasn't just like, oh, here's the reference, look at the reference. A lot of the time they wove the reference in quite smoothly. Or they could, I think what they might do is they might pull a Mandalorian season 2.
I forget what happened there.
Where it was like, hey look, here's Ahsoka, hey look, here's Bo-Katan, hey look, here's Luke Skywalker.
References.
Yeah, just all the references. And I'm gonna be honest, because I think Mandalorian 2 did really good with a lot of those things, but I think they were still, here are all the references, look, Clone Wars characters. I'm slightly worried, like, in the second way they could go, they're going to be all like, oh, look, it's Boone, and he's 80 years old, and he goes, my wife is dead. He says his thing. He says the thing he's not. I don't know why he's smiling.
And Eddie's got, like, dents in him that make his face look like little wrinkles. Because apparently robots definitely age in the shoe.
He got, like, clapped by a super mutant, not like that, oh my god.
Wow.
A super mutant clapped either side of him, and he's got, you know the way a car, like, crinkles up when it crashes? Eddie sort of looks like that, and those are his wrinkles.
Like a deflated beach ball.
I'm wondering if they're going to put the courier in there as a character. Do you think they'll go that far?
Well, Granite says vague references to the courier, and maybe they appear as a cameo.
That's a great segue. I think that would be interesting to canonize the courier, what they were like, but I think that's too far at the bubble if we don't want to invalidate anyone's playthrough.
Yeah, I feel like because, like, for example, I'm really nice when I play, Leroy's really clever when he plays, and Sloth is a fucking psychopath. Sociopath. So it's like, to be able to make someone so generic that it fits everybody's sort of play style, I think they've... Again, unless it's a dead body, with just your starter outfit on or whatever, or everything you steal from the doctor, but...
The whole bag.
Literally. But, like, didn't we see a vague... In season 1 with the mask, there was that man and the little boy who was wearing them.
Those desert rangers were wearing the masks, but that's like a faction mask.
But like, how would you make a reference to the courier without something so unique? Like, unless there's like a guy with a gunshot to the head with a mask next to him, sure.
I think
he survived the gunshot, so it's like, how would you make that?
He's a dead body with like the stealth suit Mark II in the corner.
And she's still like speaking to him.
Where are you?
Wake up already.
It's like, I've gone through all the medics. Where are you?
You appear to be cold. Literally has no skin.
I can warm you up. Just microwaves them so that just the corpse just putrefies. Now, I don't know about you. I wouldn't mind if they canonized what the courier was like. Because I'm not too attached to my courier did this. Because I don't like this idea if that's not how I interpreted that character. I don't know if you know, but like they say, because I think, I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard Illumination are working on a Zelda movie. And I remember it's a big thing that they didn't want to give Link a voice, because everyone was like, no, I want him to have what voice I want in my head. But I don't like this, because I think this is just an excuse. Because I think, like, no matter what, you're never going to get it perfect. So I think you should just pick something and go with it.
I mean, it's like Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo. If Scooby-Doo didn't have a voice from the start, everyone would have been pissed off with the voice he got. Because I remember when Tom and Jerry got their voices, everyone was like, really? That's fucking it?
To be fair, it was mostly Jerry's voice. Tom's voice was fine. Jerry's voice.
Tom sounded like he smoked 50 packs a week.
No, that was Jerry. Jerry talks like this. Hey, Tom, I gotta go over here. You know what I mean?
Whichever one of them sounded awful.
Yeah, Jerry sounded terrible. Tom was alright.
If they were voiced like that from the very start and that's what you were already used to, you wouldn't give a shit.
I think, that's a fair point. But I just think, you're never going to get it perfect. So you might as well insert something and get over the idea that, because it's like when your mind's expectations are sort of like, because if you set hyper high expectations, you're never going to be happy with anything. When I go into movies these days, I'm expecting mid. And then when it's better or worse than mid, that's when my expectations are raised. Because usually when I go out to movies now, I'm like, that was alright. Even if everyone else is like, that was fucking dog shit. I'm like, I thought it was okay. I didn't expect much.
You just care about the ice cream.
I just want my ice cream.
Going back on the Link thing, as long as Link doesn't talk like this, I think everyone will be fine.
I hate Zelda's voice in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Link, can you help me with my walker? Like, why do you sound like that?
She sounds so old. So, listen, I'd be happy if she just had a British accent and was sounded like a younger lady. But she sounds like she's like 60. It's like, okay, make her, you make her sound like a woman in her 30s, sure. But like, why does Link come over here and help me clean my clitoris? You know what I mean? I don't know why she's Crocker.
Can you believe my 18th birthday is next week? Like, why do you sound like that bitch?
I believe your 80th birthday is next week, love.
Anyway.
Okay, well, this has gone off the rails.
A little tangent.
Oh, okay. I would love the courier to be an actual character. I don't care what they do. As long as they're a compelling character, that's all I care. They can be a cracker. If they want to canonize Sloth's character, or they just run around murdering people, I'm going to be happy. As long as they're well written. You can make the courier, I don't know, Shrek. Shrek can literally be the courier. As long as he's a good character, that's all I care about.
I think there'll be a dead body, or people will vaguely refer to him in passing. Sort of, oh, that guy, that guy. All right.
I think your idea and what Granite said with vague ideas, I think these are what they're going to do.
So you know this person existed, but you don't exactly know who or what or where they were, sort of.
I think they're going to be vague. I'd love for them to be. You imagine, because I know there's another prediction up there where they say we'll get another point of view character. And I would love that point of view character to be the courier. That would be great. You just actually hear their point of view from their actual character. But I think that's going a little far. I think that's too far.
Wouldn't they be like 60 as well, though, canonically?
Well, I think the courier's age is... I think they'd be about 40-something canonically. Because I think the courier's age is pretty open for interpretation, because there is an age slider. So you can make them older or younger. But because of the way the engine is, you can only be about 40 to like 20. So it's not like you can be like an 8-year-old now, so the courier wouldn't be like... Yeah. Maybe the brain will be the main character. You see the brain hovering around in one of those little, like, think tank robots. They'll be like, hello, I'm the Stuart Griffin brain. How are we doing?
Well, they already normalised the brain Roomba in season 1, so...
It's the brain Roomba talking like Stewie Griffin with a laser gun. Oh, hello, I'm fighting the wasteland. Shut up, Brian. I think we spent more time on this one than any others. Okay, so, I think you get 5 Todds, Granite. You can have the rare 5 Todds.
Yeah.
I think that's very likely. I think we'll get vaguities to the courier, but nothing specific. Anyway, after ages, moving on.
Obvious Alex says, gambling. Lots of gambling. Miss House will also be gambling at a casino. But also to add on to this, the next person's opinion, Melon Boy, says, Lucy gets a gambling addiction.
I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting idea. They've got to touch on gambling. They can't, because I don't know about you. I don't usually do a lot of gambling in even though I play luck builds, I never usually do a lot of gambling in the games.
Oh, you're lucky. I cut out some of the recording from your shit. There was about 40 minutes of me just on the slots. And I'm getting mad at blackjack because I couldn't be asked.
I love when you get mad and you like shake the mouse like this. You can see you're visibly mad. You do a lot of acting through the mouse and I think it's fucking funny. But yeah, I think you've got to have... Lucy has to get a gambling addiction. But that is the thing. At the end of season 1, the strip was destroyed in the diorama, which we know doesn't show what they're like, because we saw the observatory that was destroyed in the next episode.
I don't know the indoors sitch either.
Yeah, well, the streets are just a shithole, but inside they're all fine. You imagine, this is where we just swept the rubbish away, don't worry.
It'd be nice to see that it's Lucy that gets it too, because Maximus in season 1, when they were in the vault, he was there in the robe eating all the popcorn and like all of the shit like that. He gives off an addictive personality, but I'd like to see her be a bit more of a goof with it. Yeah.
See, Maximus is the one that likes to eat. Lucy's the horny one, I've noticed.
I'd love to see that she wins a shit ton of pre-war money and like someone else the ghoul tells you, that's worthless, right? And she's just like, oh.
Sad face, her giant eyes go, like that. But yeah, 5 Todds. I hope Lucy gets a gambling addiction. Okay, well.
Briggsy says, we will finally meet Lily's grandkids.
I think that's canonical. They'll come out the vault, be like, even though, Gran, we were turned into pink mist about, 100 years ago, here we are.
Ew.
I love that. Could you imagine? There's Lily's a main character, and her kids become separate super mutants, and they're like, Grand, I missed you, little Billy. You know what I mean? And they vaguely remember each other. I didn't know when I played that game that Lily just sort of slaps you in the face with, I'm sad my grandchildren are dead. And it's like, oh. Because you think she's just the funny, wacky super mutant, and then she goes, I'm being real, Jim. That murders my throat to do.
You sound like the slug from Monsters Inc.
Mike Wazowski, where are my grandchildren?
Ew. Does Mike Wazowski have a penis? Where is it? Does he have bum cheeks? Does he poop?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have butt cheeks. Where are his holes? I think Mike Wazowski...
Is his mouth the cloaca?
I was going to pitch he's got a cloaca underneath, but maybe his mouth is the cloaca. Maybe he's like one of those fish where they spit out the semen instead of just using genitals.
Oh, just like my mum.
Yeah, exactly.
I take it Briggsy got a 1.
Yeah, Briggsy, you get a 1. What the fuck?
Boo.
Boo, Briggsy.
Field Agent D, Znut, says, Deathclaw Junction has revitalized, I bet you. It's overrunning with Deathclaws again. Legionnaires are all but gone. I bet we'll see a few Caesar Legion callback.
I think that's going to be a lot to introduce the Legion, but I think they might go on quite heavy nostalgia. Because I thought it was weird they introduced the Fiends in season 1. That was really strange, because they're a New Vegas thing.
Yeah.
And it was weird that you put the Fiends in the south of California instead of one of the more California-based gangs. But I suppose they're apparently not really there anymore. But yeah, I can't imagine they'll be too heavy on the Legion stuff, just because I feel like the Vault-Tec stuff is going to sort of take center stage a little more. It's hard to really say because I think House is sort of the main thing we know about for season 3. So I'll give you a 3 on that, 3 Todds, because I don't think they're gonna have the CGI budget for too many Deathclaws.
Yeah, no.
I think they'll have one Deathclaw that's just really... That's the way I'd like to imagine. If it turns out there's like 1 million Deathclaws, that'll be a whole other thing. But like, I don't think they're gonna have the budget to make a bunch of Deathclaws. I think they'll just have one who's in a really dangerous area, and that's what's gonna happen essentially. Sort of like what happened in Fallout 4 when you fight the Deathclaw outside of the Museum of Technology or whatever it is, or the Museum of History. You've got to make it a moment. You can't just spam Deathclaws.
Yeah, because then they're not as much of a threat, really.
Yeah, so you can have 3 Todds. I think Deathclaw's going to be there. Not all of them, though. I think there'll be a Deathclaw. I think they'll be conservative with the Deathclaws.
I think the skull at the end of season 1 was definitely a hint that they're still around, but maybe just not as many.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. They'll pull the twist. They'll bring back the talking Deathclaws, because they're really controversial.
Or the blind deaf ones with their canes and their hearing aids.
I will murder you at some point.
When I find you.
Where are you? I love that the blind Deathclaw has like higher perception than regular Deathclaws, so he's basically just like hyper focused on you. I love the idea of the blind Deathclaw too, so you can't sneak past him because like I can fucking hear you. It's like, oh shit. He's just too good at what he does.
Silver Moonlight says Big MT might be an important location, or at least mentioned at some point. Also, the courier might be residing there.
I mean, I think if you're gonna have the courier anywhere, because one of the endings to Old World Blues is that he lives there and just sort of like, or they live there and they sort of distribute technology where it's needed. Now, the issue with doing Big Mountain is that I think it would be quite a high production area to build, you know what I mean? Because there's lots of technology there, because you're either going to have, they don't want to, unless they have like a massively bigger budget for season 2, I think it would just need to be like, and you need a good excuse to go there. Because like, unless it's like, oh, hey, we need to go to Big Mountain. Because I'm thinking, if you introduce Big Mountain, and the Brotherhood are a big thing in this community, and they have airships, the Brotherhood are going to go, maybe we should go take hold of that. But do I really want the series to just be the Brotherhood running up and kicking down the rest of the factions? Because I did a video, I recorded one yonks ago, and one of my predictions was that the TV show would be full of so much Brotherhood wank. And so far, that is all that's happened. Because what was it, the Brotherhood, they've come over, they've kicked over the NCR. Now in season 2, they're probably going to come kick over New Vegas. And what, we're thinking they're going to come kick over Big MT too. It's like at some point, the Brotherhood have got to take an L. Because I hate this idea that that's what they do. Because I think if you have Big MT, Maximus is going to go, we should tell the Brotherhood. And it's like, I'd really rather not. Because I don't like that they just take over everything.
I think I'm going to give this one like a 3. Because Big MT's already been sort of mentioned in season 1. My only issue with this is... So, what, Hank is at New Vegas, Lucy and whoever the fuck is with her now, they have to make their way there. It's an 8-episode series. I'm guessing at least 4 episodes is gonna be how long it takes them to get there. So unless it's on the way or relevant to the plot, I don't think it'll be this season we see it.
Yeah, because they need an excuse. But
and it's like, it seems like a really out of the way thing to just fall into for them.
Because that's sort of the problem with season 1. They just travel all over. And it's just sort of like, you need to, like, because in season 1, they're going in a consistent direction. They are going from
A to B.
Yeah, Lucy needs to go out the vault and find where Moldova is, or whatever the fuck. Meanwhile, if you're going to New Vegas, you're going to start over here at the vault. You've got to come over here to New Vegas. But Big MT is like down here somewhere, basically. So, I guess they could walk past it, but it would sort of be like a distraction. You know what I mean?
They would only devote so little time.
Yeah, but also, Big MT's a big... You know how we always say the Deadpool problem in superhero movies? If you introduce Big MT is going to kind of become more interesting than what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're fighting over this power plant, but here's like this place where we develop really cool laser guns and like talking stealth suits, and there are like talking dogs and shit, and it's like, well, that's kind of, you know, it's kind of more interesting, so you got to pick and choose your moments. Although, I do sort of think, because it was referenced, like you say, at the start of, or the end of season 1, they've got to get some play. You know what I mean? But by that logic, is the Dead Money place going to be in there? Because he's also in that DLC as well.
They'll just find a head with like 75 golden bars just lodged inside of it.
In the mouth. Remember that picture of Spy with all the cigarettes in his mouth? It's Elijah's head with all the gold bars coming out his mouth. Has no one drawn that?
Yeah, there you go.
No one drawn that. Yeah, there you go.
Before this video comes out.
Yeah, I gotta jump on Elijah with all the gold bars in his mouth. I mean, yeah, I just sort of think, like you say, that'll be a bit of a distraction.
Especially with how short season 1 was with 8 episodes. I don't think they've got enough episodes. Unless they pushed up to 12, but I can't see them wanting to waste a whole episode over there. And even if they did, it would just be pop in, get the weapons we need, and leave.
Yeah.
But at this point, they don't know that they need weapons. So...
But also, I think the problem is, it's hard to make predictions because all we know is it's the good guys versus Vault-Tec right now.
Yeah.
Because Vault-Tec are the big meanies that decided to nuke California. So at this rate, it's kind of like, why would we need weapons to fight Vault-Tec? Unless there's like a secret army of Vault-Tec drones that they've got to fight all the Vault-Tec drones. I can't entirely see there being a big battle. I sort of see this being sort of ironically like The Divide, where Hank's going to have a secret missile silo somewhere, where they've got to confront him and get him to like, Hank, put down the missiles, Hank. He's like, no, I'm going to nuke the world because this is how I want to rule over a nuclear crater. Maybe what he's going to do, I think maybe his plan's going to be, I'm going to nuke the fucking world, and what's going to happen is I'm going to go into this cryopod for a million billion years, and by the time I come out, the radiation will be gone, and I'll be able to actually roll over a proper world, which doesn't sound like a very sound plan to me.
No, not
You know,
really.
if life survived the first time, it's going to survive the second time. You know, you've got all these vaults. You spent all this time building this shit. So unless, like you said, they need a reason for it. Yeah, so you're going to get your 3 little toddies. I think there's a possibility, you know, Frederick Sinclair was in there, so, you know.
Possible, not very likely.
Yeah, I think it would be weird if they spent too much time on it, but I could be wrong. You know what we're going to do? We're going to come back to this video and we're going to be like, how many of our takes here versus these takes if we actually get right? Watch absolutely fucking none. Wow, that was autistic. What did you think of these predictions? I almost said unpopular opinions. My brain is broken.
You're all gay.
Yeah. Some interesting ones in there. I think it's quite hard, like I said, to make predictions because we don't really have a lot to go on at the moment. But the little I do think is going to happen. Season 2 is going to be about, I reckon, what's it called? Cooper's wife is going to get unfrozen. He's going to have a little battle with his wife over, like, I want my daughter back. And she's going to go, ew, daddy, you're a gross mutant. Fuck off.
Tune in to part 2 where we'll tell you more of what we personally predict ourselves.
We'll make fun of our followers more.
Yeah.
Bullying!
Bye. Sexual.